Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakah HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and still do. Salutations to the Akim on the highways and the hedges and the four corners, preaching this word with truth and sincerity. And shalom to all you sincere listeners. It's just meditating in the spirit, traveling to the plantation yet again. I'm trying to get it quick, to the point, and Lord's willing, this to be edifying. Got some precepts. As you can see, I took this picture, and it says single mom is losing faith. And this is the type of vibration that this society pushes nowadays, that these females be single moms. But if you have a child, there's no way in hell you're single. You're supposed to be controlled and owned by a man. And get a couple of precepts real quick. You gotta hit the book of Genesis, 3rd chapter, 16th verse. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Start at the 16th verse. Until the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. As your birth pains and contractions. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. This is what the Heavenly Father said unto the woman, Eve. See? So it tells you right there that a woman is supposed to be a man's possession. So all of this single mom shit is bullshit. Point blank period. As you can hear, the devil always trying to stop you from preaching, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to bring out the word for all of these demons. We got another precept for these females. Because they completely out of order. And they're out of order due to the help of the devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man, which is Esau. You're going to go to Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. Yeah, blue letter acting up right now. So we're going to go to the other one. Let me see something. It's Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. We're going to go to the 2nd verse. A man shall be as an hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. That's exactly what's going to happen in these last days. These women think that they're going to save themselves on their own merit when Jacob's trouble comes. I'm talking about the Israelite women. And the Israelites consist of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you confusion the faces. That happen to be from this line, but you look like you're from a heathen nation. Yeah, and like the Lord is saying, that in the last days, women claim independence now, but they're not going to want to be single in that day. You can prove it. It's Isaiah 4:1. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Yeah, so there you go. And even though it says 7 women, it could be even 10 women, even 15 women, because 7 is just a number of completion. Every man is gonna have a complete number of women that make their own food and make their own clothes, but a woman is going to need a man's last name in order to save herself, because if not, she's gonna have a reproach, like it says. The woman, she's gonna know that she's gonna know not to be how would you put it? Single. You see? That's why the show, I believe, is called Single Mothers Losing Faith, for the simple fact that Men are getting smart. They don't want single mothers. Single mothers ain't nothing but damaged goods. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And why are you going to be reproached? Because a woman is not going to be able to save herself in that day. Strictly for the simple fact that the Lord never made the woman to be without the man. It's like a sheep without a shepherd. These women nowadays, they're allowed to do bullshit like that because of Esau and his wicked let me get that real quick. Esau and his wicked decrees. This is Isaiah the 10th chapter, first verse. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that the right grievousness which they have prescribed. And what grievousness have they written? They've written these laws that women are now equal to men. And before I even continue with that, I gotta get that. Women are equal to men. Women can do without men. And they promote this bullshit, and these women, they eat it up, because that was the lie. All females are taken care of by men. It's just that nowadays the man became the state and the federal government. You see? That's why you have Section 8 and food stamps and WIC. All of these programs came from feminism. After the man got taken out of the house, the woman still needed those amenities provided for her, and it was provided for her through the government, which is the so-called white man. See? So all these females gave up Jacob just so they could be with Esau. And it's starting to backfire on them. This is Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. And this is the truth. This is what you've seen. Year 2019, year of Karagma, Israelite women are at an all-time high with money-making jobs, anything you want to name, anything that an Israelite man does, an Israelite woman can and will do. And Esau has given her that platform. And so her head is on cloud 9. So she really believes in her heart that she does not need a man. And it's going to be furthest from the truth. Once the government shuts down yet again, because it's going to again, it's biblical prophecy. This is Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And the vintage and the gathering is going to fail and not come. It's these goodies that these females have been getting from this women's liberation bullshit movement. The Rockefellers have already been on record that they funded it so they could tax women, get them out of the house, and destroy the Israelite family, which is what they did. They were very successful with that. Ever since giving women liberation, the divorce rate has went up 70%. That's why you see a picture like this, single mother losing faith. And really, it's subliminal because smilf comes from the word milf, and that in itself is an adulterous word. Like, it's an acronym, meaning like mother. I'd like to fuck, and so they put the SMILF. And Esau being a cunning bastard. Going back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. You see. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath power said, ye shall not eat of every tree in the garden. See? It tells you right there, the serpent was the most subtle creature, more subtle than any beast of the field. You see? Basically, when you look up the word sub, it means under. I believe tile means web, so it's under the web. Esau was made more under the web than any beast of the field. So he was the most cunning one. Had that smooth words, man. The vintage and the gathering. The vintage is going to fail, and the gathering is not going to come. It's all of those perks that you females are used to getting. Used to getting checks every month. Used to getting money put on the EBT card every month. Food stamps every month. money for daycare, things of that nature, and that's starting to fail. Uh, One of the brothers and one of the elders, Elder Tazadaki, did a video, and I believe his page was called GMS Satellite 144, and it was very edifying. He's very edifying brother, and a very edifying elder as well. He pointed out that there was a chick, I believe her name was Jasmine Headley. You can look it up, and she was the chick that had got manhandled at one of the benefit offices in Boerum Hill, and that's in Brooklyn. And she was down there because they had cut off her child care assistance. He was giving her $1,200 a month just for that, $1,200 check. So that's just an example of the vintage failing and the gathering not coming. So the government's going to stop giving these women thousands of dollars to take care of their monsters, and they're not really doing it. You know? Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip ye and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Meaning all of these bitches, they're not going to be up in the departments, designer stores anymore, buying the Gucci, the Louis. You know, you'll see people in the welfare office having on Gucci and Louis. Like, you can't afford your own rent, and you can't afford to feed yourself, because that's why you go there for government assistance. But at the same time, you have designer clothes. See, because our people really don't want to admit that they are the children of the Most High. You know, and we're the ones that are supposed to be in poverty until this day. Point blank period. Because that's what it tells you in the scriptures. That God's children will suffer persecution until the Redeemer comes back to save them. You know? Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Yeah, they're going to lament for the way things used to be. Things aren't like that anymore. You know? Point blank period. The book of Jeremiah 30th chapter, 7th verse. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah. And we're right now in the midst of Jacob's trouble. It just hasn't intensified to the part where we need it to be. When I say we, I'm talking about, the brothers of Great Millstone, starting with the apostles, the elders on down. We need that chip, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. We need that implemented ASAP. Because when that happens, then other prophecies are going to take place full force, and we're closer to getting the fuck up out of here, Transfer to the Q53 select bus service. But let me get a couple more presets. I'm gonna close. Go to Apocrypha real quick. This is the book Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 25. We're gonna go to 24. Just give real quick notes. This is Manhattan bound F train via the This is 24th verse. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. That's point blank period. That's reiterated in the book of Genesis. Once she ate the fruit, that's when we all got made mortal. Point blank period. Because the Lord tells you in the scriptures that He didn't make man to die. But we have to learn the knowledge of good and bad. Like it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, and that woman was Eve. Verse 25, give the water no passage, neither wicked women liberty to guide abroad. All females are wicked, none of them are righteous. It tells you that in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. King Solomon told you that. This is what happens when you give a wicked woman liberty to guide abroad. She becomes a single mom losing faith. And she never had faith to begin with, because if she did, she would have never left her man. You see? And here's another one, 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorcement, and let her go. Yeah, that's the truth. You gotta let her go. You can't take her back. A lot of people be out here, a woman to cut you off, and then come back to you. That's a no-no. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Hell no. And shall not that land be greatly polluted? Why shall it be greatly polluted? Because the woman is looked at like the mother earth, and the man is the husband. The ground tiller, when you look up the word husband, it's a ground tiller, a person that takes care of the ground. And a woman would be considered the ground because of Mother Earth. When you plow her, you have sex with her, you put your seed into her earth. So that's why it says, once you put a woman away and she becomes another man's, that means she gets another husband. You are not to return back unto her because her land, her twat, is very polluted. And that's the truth. But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith Yahweh. Yeah, and the Lord is talking about us, Israel. Because, pertaining to the 6th chapter, he looks at us like a comely and delicate woman. This is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. And that's the her that he's talking about with us, that has played the harlot with many lovers. Because we have fornicated with many, laid down with many other philosophies and doctrines, And some of the Lord's children does that today. You got Muslim, 2/3 they're into Muslim, they're into plantation Christianity, Catholicism, Buddhism, they're into everything but what the Heavenly Father is. That's the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Holy Scriptures. We're going to go to the 26th verse of Sirach. Here you go. Verse 7, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. And this is why these women are single as well, because they get evil and demonic from all of the power that they possess from the so-called white man, and they're not supposed to have it. The women didn't have a chance to divorce men. Marriages stayed together, families stayed together. These women use their power and they run with it, and they don't have brains as a man. It's told you, that's told to you in the book of Job. Matter of fact, I'll get it. 39th chapter, 17th verse. Because power hath deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted to her understanding. And that's the truth. Women have no wisdom and they don't have understanding. All of that comes from their man, which is who they're supposed to listen to. And if they don't, verse 10, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And then you watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespasses against thee. Yeah, you're not supposed to You're not supposed to be bewildered if a woman disrespects and goes against what you say, because she's been given the power to. Eve didn't listen to Adam. You see? And Lot's wife didn't listen to the Lord. The Lord said, anybody turn around when I'm destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm turning them into a pillar of salt. And you see, she was the only one that was turned into a pillar of salt because the bitch will not listen. Why? Because this is her kingdom. America is a woman's kingdom where she can do what she wants when she wants to do it. So any man that thinks that he has a virtuous woman, you better think again. Matter of fact, you get that count just to make sure people know that they're playing. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And starting at 25, I applied mine heart to know and to search and to seek out for wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. And you know the word heart is in the Hebrew is lab, which is your mind, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth power shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Yeah, so if you have a female and her head is as snares and nets, that's her mind. She's always trying to get you to do some shit you don't want to do. And her hands is as bands, so she's always trying to drag you along into some bullshit. Most likely, you don't please the Most High, because you'll escape a bitch like that. A thin line between love and hate type bitch, if you ever seen that movie. Verse 27, behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which my soul yet seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all these have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that power hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. And this is the truth. Out of all of these men, the Lord found one that was upright. That's the account of the book of Noah. That's like, as in the days of Noah, the Lord had Noah to build the ark. And then also in the days of Lot, the Lord had Lot to deliver his family out of Sodom and Gomorrah. So there's that one man that the Lord found upright. And out of 1,000 women, he found none that was upright. This is King Solomon. You see? King Solomon had 1,000 wives. Had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Or 300 wives and 700 concubines. But either way you want to slice it, he didn't find not one of them upright. So there you go. Only man was found upright. I'm gonna try to close real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to Ecclesiasticus, get the 25th verse. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefast will fear the Lord. And what is this? And a female dog is what? It's a bitch. Point blank period. A female dog is a bitch. You know? And that's these women nowadays. They're not women. Look up the word woman, it's a female servant. All of these is bitches. Single moms act like bitches. Why? Because they got rid of their power. And they're struggling. Because the Lord did not make a woman to not be with a man, you know? We're going to get that as well. And we'll close. There's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Starting at 3, you're going to listen to the order of things. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. And that's the order, period. The head of the woman is the man, the head of man is our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. The head of Yahushua HaMashiach is the all-heavenly Father, Abanawa Yahweh. Point blank period. And that's the order of things. The 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Done. I'm going to skip down to the 8th verse. Actually, I started at 7. For a man is indeed not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image of glory, for as much as he is the image of and glory of power, but the woman is the glory of the man. So man was made in the Lord's image, and the woman was made in the man's image, and the woman was made for the man, for the glory of the man. Just like the man was made for the glory of the Most High. That's why he hates when we go off. Verse 8, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. This is the point as well. Verse 9, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So there you go. Women are supposed to listen to men. So it tells you in Colossians for the ladies to submit themselves to their husbands. You're supposed to submit yourself. But you know, majority of these females, they're devil's advocates. And the devil is a so-called white man. He gave them the power not to listen through the court systems, you know, and they're going to run with it. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Whenever she wants to act like she knows the scriptures. And this primarily is going to you females, especially you Israelite bitches who woke up. You be all up on the comment boards trying to put in your little 2 cents. It tells you you're not permitted to speak it to the church. The most you're supposed to be saying is the shalom. And that's it. Nobody want to hear your voice. You know? And you doing any of that, like Apostle Tahar said, you're going off. You know? Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. Point 14, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So that's the point. That's why we don't want to hear your voice, because you're the one that went off. You're the one that broke the law. You see? And Adam wasn't the one that was deceived. And also, this is the way the Lord wrote it. You have to, if you want to act like you're righteous, you have to actually follow the scriptures to the best of your ability. Like it tells you in the book of Judges, the 5th chapter, you have to rehearse the righteous acts. And the righteous act for a female is to shut the fuck up. Point blank period. You got to get her Ecclesiastes 5 and 1 on. Keep her foot when she in the house of the Lord. Verse 15, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness, variety. So the only way a female is going to be saved from this upcoming destruction, like you read right there, is through childbearing. And she keeps the faith and the integrity and the charity. And you see right here, Esau promotes the opposite of that. Single mom is losing faith. Why? Because she wants to be a whore. she don't want to be a whore, so she'll keep the faith. Point blank, period. But you know how these females are. Majority of these females are gonna get destroyed. They're part of the 2/3 that's gonna get destroyed in this upcoming Jacob's trouble. That's gonna intensify. So Lord's only use that Father like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakah HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, Shalom to the elect. And as a matter of fact, before I even finish, let me get this one last precept. Because this is for these females that lost faith. You're done for. It's Micah 7:10. And she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. So a lot of these bitches going to be getting beat down in these upcoming race wars, because that's your judgment for losing faith and leaving your power. So shalom.